Hello and welcome to The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly. This is a comic book review slash recap slash discussion show where we take 3 books from my long boxes and then compare them and rate them based on no criteria whatsoever and then decide which one's the good, the bad, and the ugly. This week we are returning to an old topic that we had done about half a year ago. Obscure DC Comics characters. Gem, Resurrection Man, and Vigilante.
Gem, son of Saturn.
Thank you, son of Saturn. You're right.
Not Gem, totally outrageous.
Exactly.
Right.
No.
Different Gem.
So let's jump into them. All right. Ben, tell us about Gem, son of Saturn.
Oh.
Ha-ha!
I said to open my big dumb mouth.
Yep.
Gem, son of Saturn is written by Greg Potter. Artists Gene Colan and Klaus Janson.
Klaus Janson works on this?
Yeah.
Well.
There's an opening where we see a young kid living in the streets, but not really living in the streets. His name is Luther. He is playing Spaceman with his little toy gun, and he is defeating the Octo Beast. And he turns around, and suddenly there is a stark naked Martian standing in front of him.
Saturnian?
Oh, I apologize.
How about this? We don't know what he is. He's just a big red alien
Yeah,
man.
he's a moon man with a space gem
I mean,
in
it does
his
say
face.
Gem, son of Saturn right over.
Whoa,
his
whoa,
arm.
whoa. Let's not leap to any conclusions. That just might be a name.
Yeah, that's just
Yeah.
yeah.
We don't know what
Maybe
it
he
is.
has
So like an
rings.
honorific.
I could be
yeah.
Tiffany, daughter of Jupiter. You don't
Right,
know. I'm
right.
not from there.
Suddenly we're back on the streets, and walking home is Lincoln Mankin. It's Luther's brother. Reginald jumps Lincoln and then is like, hey, you borrowed some money from this guy, and he wants it back. So, you better get it, otherwise I'm going to cut you.
Right.
Yeah. And if you get the money by tomorrow night, there won't be any problems.
There won't be any problems.
What?
But, of course, Reginald has a knife to his throat and is threatening him and being like, oh, you and your fancy education. Like, that's how you borrowed this money to get an education, but you ain't paying back the right people.
That's right.
So,
I think most college students can really sympathize.
Yeah, because he's just a student loan enforcer.
So it's age-old story, right?
You're from the streets, you
borrow
sell some
money
drugs to make money for your education,
Yep.
and then drug mob enforcers
I
come
thought
and
you were going to
shake
say
it out.
age-old story. You go to college, you take a loan out, and then one day
some guy with a knife jumps you on the street.
Yeah.
it
it's
says,
just
where's your
like,
loan payments, man?
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
from Sally Mae. You better have that payment tomorrow.
Walks into the apartment. Grandpa's blind, so really the person who's doing all the work and earning the money is Lincoln. So he grabs Lincoln by the shirt and is just like, Luther isn't home. It's like past midnight. You have to go out and find him. And Lincoln swats him off and is like, hey, get off me. It's always with Luther.
Yeah.
Marsha.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But then, to prove a point, he, makes the deal over the phone in front of him. He's like,
Yeah.
"Oh, just shut up and
So-
sit there.
And he calls his friend Vic.
Oh,
And
no.
Grandpa hates
Not
Vic.
Vic.
Not
Vic
Vic,
was like,
not that
oh, he's
guy.
been getting you in trouble ever since the two of you were boys.
He's all reefed up. That
Yes.
Vic is. That's what he said.
He says
Scum.
beefed up.
No, he
didn't-
says that
oh.
he says he smells like reefer.
He's trash, Lincoln, trash. Anyway, Lincoln invites...
He's a bad egg.
So wait, Vic's on the phone.
Yeah.
He can hear all of
Oh,
this.
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
I
yeah.
know, he doesn't
Hey,
care.
You can imagine the conversation is like, hey, Vic, I need you. Yeah. Hey, Vic sucks. He's the worst. Go get off the phone with Vic.
Shut up, old man.
Anyway, Vic.
Hey, you tell your grandpa to shut the hell up.
Hey, but Vic says, shut up, Grandpa. Oh, yeah? Well, you tell Vic that the next time I see him, I'm going to kick his ass.
Hey,
Except
my
he'll
grandpa
never-
says he's gonna kick... Oh, why am I doing this? Anyway,
Here.
Vic, you just come over with the equipment tomorrow night.
Yeah.
Yeah, the
So the
equipment.
plan is to come over the
Equipment.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought
So-
they were going to do a heist.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
I got to get that money somehow.
Spoilers.
They don't.
They don't.
They both share the emotions that they're feeling, and Luther understands that Gem is alone on this planet and scared, and he's just like, you're scared like I am. He's like, don't worry, we'll get you home. You come with me.
Yeah, it's
And-
Urban E.T.,
And Gem just keeps talking space
language. Yeah.
which is fun. It's a neat
Yeah, that's
little-
cool.
Yeah.
Little symbols and stuff in the balloons.
Yep. And then something like it slowly becomes our language.
Yes.
Where it just it's jargon, and then you see the letter F, and then there's an E, and it starts becoming
Yeah,
what
like
we
it's
say.
trying to make human sounds, maybe.
So anyway, Luther's just like, anyway, you're gonna come back to my place with me.
Yeah, my
'Cause I
grandpa's
found a
blind.
spaceman.
He won't
Yeah.
know.
Yeah, that's
And
why he's
like-
blind.
Yeah.
And Jeb's like, okay,
Can do.
I'll follow this human child around.
Yeah.
So then Jem goes into the shadows and then comes out, and he's wearing clothes.
He's got a
No,
cape and everything.
he's not wearing clothes. He's wearing a friggin' superhero costume.
Yes.
Okay, he's wearing a
Like he's
superhero costume.
watched human shows about superheroes.
If this is the first human he's met, he's like, okay, I see your clothing is like a sweater and some shoes. How about a big cape?
Well, maybe he saw into Luther's mind.
Right, maybe
and saw
Luther is like
maybe.
imaginative, and it's like that's why he looks like a superhero.
Yeah, but he wouldn't look like a
cool
superhero.
idea.
He'd look like a spaceman because he was just playing spaceman.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
true.
All right, well,
This is what spacemen look like with
Yeah.
capes.
that was a Flash Gordon spaceman, I guess.
Yeah.
Anyway,
He's into those
So-
old B movies.
We cut over to the ship that Jem apparently abandoned
And where is it?
in New Jersey.
Woo! New Jersey!
Yep.
Shout out New Jersey!
In the swamp.
represent
Yep.
Yeah.
Meadowlands.
Well, I was thinking the Great Swamp, but yeah.
It's the whole state's a swamp.
No, it's not.
Yeah, the whole place is garbage. Why don't you go home?
Like Vic.
Yeah, it was
There's a lot of
trash.
flooding in New Jersey, is all I'm saying.
So there are 2 NASA people and a CIA operative. So Deidre and Phil, the NASA people, are investigating things, and then Deidre calls back to Charles, the CIA, and just like, hey, do you want to help? And he's like, not only do I not want to help, I want you off of this ship. He's saying all of this in his head. He's not making it.
Yeah.
Because I don't like my fiancée being on this assignment with the spaceship. I got a bad feeling about this. So, of course, there's some emotional confusion going on. He even says at one point, like, why is it so difficult for me to voice these feelings when I can't stop feeling them?
Okay.
It's like,
Yeah.
oh,
Phil.
Jesus.
He's like
Right,
torn
Jesus,
between wanting
Charles.
to be like protective and like let her like,
Be her own woman.
yeah.
But I'm the
Save
man.
It, save it for your dream journal, Phil.
The dumb thing is that there are 2 army guys outside, and suddenly they turn around, and oh my god, it's more spacemen! But they're blue, where Jem was red. All we see is that suddenly the ship is rocking back and forth, and everyone inside loses their balance, and then a beam cuts through it, and we don't know how, but apparently like everyone got hit.
Yep.
And then one of the space guys comes in and is like, oh, a scan of the ship interior reveals only human life forms. The mission is incomplete.
Oh no.
So then we cut back to Luther and Jem getting home to the apartment with Gramps. And they walk in, and apparently as attentive as Gramps can be, even though he's blind, he has no idea a spaceman has walked in.
No.
Because he's talking to him, he's just like, oh, what's your name? Oh, and like,
Well, he doesn't talk.
No.
So
he doesn't
kid
really
makes
talk
up a
much.
lie
The
that
kid makes
he's
up a lie about
a
like,
foreign person.
yeah, that he doesn't speak any English.
Right.
And he's just like, oh, here's my Luther bringing home a stray, but don't worry, you'll be fine. We'll get you a blanket and a bedroll. You'll be good for the night. It's
Yeah.
fine. And he's like, oh, we should probably hide him before Lincoln gets
shows
back.
up. Yeah, I mean, it's just he's a little kid, so he's like, oh, we'll surprise Lincoln with my cool friend.
Yeah, that's gonna be a great surprise.
Yeah, because Lincoln seems like a rational, fun person.
He's
Loves
not
surprises.
like coiled like
Yeah.
a
And-
spring.
Let's cut back to the spaceship where only Charles made it, I
Yep.
guess.
For no reason, Charles survived.
Because he's a CIA man, Ethan, and he's a man.
Because he's going to be one of the
I
characters.
he
think
needs to be
it's
the
more
character.
like Deirdre took every
brunt.
Yeah, she
She shielded him.
jumped
Yeah.
in front or whatever.
It
Yeah.
cut right through her.
Yeah, you
So-
see the beam like go through her body
Yeah.
of whatever.
So, you know.
Yeah,
she
she,
did.
she didn't make it.
Charles wakes up.
He's like, damn it, Deirdre, why?
He's like, Deirdre, no! Oh, you never got to see your aliens, did you? Oh, don't worry, I'll find every last one of them.
Yeah.
And then we cut back again to the apartment. Gramps hears Lincoln's boots stomping up the steps. And Luther gets a great idea. Ooh, I know.
Yeah.
We'll hide in the back room, me and Jem, and we'll jump out and surprise Lincoln when the time is right.
Yeah.
And Gramps is like, that's a wonderful idea.
I don't know why, but
Yep.
all right, go for it.
Sure.
Sure.
It's not like he hasn't smelled him or anything. And then Jem even talks in his Martian language again, and it's just indecipherable
Right.
stuff.
He doesn't get it.
I imagine it's-
that must be he must
like
be Russian
Swedish or something.
Yeah.
I imagine it's bloops and bleeps.
Yeah.
So Lincoln walks in. Oh, but then Vic walks in behind him.
Oh no.
And Grandpa's like,
That
"You
must
got
be
that
Vic."
bin with you, don't you? I can smell a roach. What?
Grandpa, you
Yeah.
don't know
My
there's a
God.
space alien at your dinner table, but you do know that Vic is here.
Yeah.
I smelled Vic before.
Well, that's
Yeah.
true.
I
yeah.
smelled that kind of trash.
Right, I smelled
Yeah.
Vic in the 60s.
But apparently, a person from Saturn doesn't
Emit a
set off
smell.
any bells.
No, he's
No.
scentless, odorless.
Doesn't shake his hand.
Nope.
Nope.
Doesn't talk to him.
Yep.
So,
No, that's totally
Jim,
normal.
What are you gonna do for the day?
Yeah.
Yep.
We're gonna sit here in silence, Gramps.
Cool.
Okay.
That's just what I was planning
Radio.
on doing all day. Yeah.
Yeah. Very weird.
So then Lincoln berates his grandfather, being like, "Hey, relax.
Stay out of this."
I don't want
Yeah.
to hear you speak anything for a long, long time." And he's like, "Vic, you got your equipment?" He's like, "Of course."
Yeah.
And then they just sit down for hours.
Yep.
Silently at the table, doing nothing again, which means Luther and Jem are just
In the closet,
back room
like-
Yep.
for hours until there's a giant knock at the door, and then Lincoln answers it, and it's Reginald.
Yep.
And then suddenly Vic jumps out behind him with his gun, grabs Reginald by the throat, and you're like, oh, this was actually a good plan.
Yeah.
Lincoln's plan
Oh,
was
he had
literally
an
like,
idea.
okay, this guy wants my money. How about we threaten him with his life and
Threaten
say,
him with his
like-
life,
and then
and-
like, give me an extension.
Yeah.
Not like we'll kill this
Not-
guy.
Yeah, he's just like,
He's like,
just wait a
leave me
damn
alone
second.
for like a couple days.
Yeah.
Not we'll
I have
kill you,
midterms.
or I'm not paying you. It's
Yeah.
I'm gonna need a little bit more time.
Right.
You
Yeah.
came to me yesterday.
Yeah.
Couldn't you have just said that? I don't know. But anyway,
Well,
so they threatened
Well,
him.
he wanted to.
No, you
Show
you,
him I've got a
Yeah.
posse.
You gotta up
Yeah.
the ante. Like
Yeah.
you bring a knife, I'm gonna bring a gun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, Reginald also brought a giant guy named Bouncer,
Yep.
Name's
who is an
Bouncer.
oaf and
Yeah.
is really, really strong, and kind of talks like the Hulk. Lincoln yells to Vin to shoot Bouncer, who is a giant oaf of a man,
Yep.
and he just says, I can't, Link, I can't get a... He fires the gun,
Yeah.
by the way, but he misses this cinder-blocked wall of a man in front of him.
Yeah.
Somehow.
He's useless.
Yeah.
He's terrified.
Yeah,
Right.
I guess he's scared.
Yeah, this is a giant man who blows through a wall.
He's like standing there, instead of firing, he goes like, blam!
Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't know... I've never shot anybody before, man. I'm sorry.
I guess
I'm all
the
talk.
idea is the guy he was. What's the name of the guy? Reginald.
Yeah.
Is probably like maybe
Wrestling with him,
with him
yeah.
a little bit. You can't really see what happens, but maybe his arm is not able to be
It's commotion.
brought up
Who
in
knows?
time. Yeah.
Anyway,
I don't know.
Bouncer picks up Vin and just throws him into a wall.
Yep.
And then he picks up Lincoln and
Yep.
kicks his foot through a wall and is about to throw Lincoln out the wall, apparently.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm guessing they're a story up at least.
Yeah.
I think
he's
they're on
gonna
the
throw
second
him
floor.
outside.
Yeah.
So then Luther busts out the door. Jem tackles Bouncer, which makes a lot more sense.
Yep.
And then Bouncer's like, Reg, the red man. He hurt me, Reg.
Oh my god.
He
Yep.
killed me with a sword, Mal. A sword.
How weird is that?
Yeah.
So then Bouncer picks up a giant clock or an arm. How will Grandpa know what time it is now? He throws it at Jem, pins him to the ground, and then Bouncer's like, I'm gonna hurt you and you'll never hurt me again. And then Jem fires his beam at Bouncer and knocks him back. And Gramps is like, what was that sound?
Hey, is somebody here?
Anyway, Reginald like runs out. He's just like, I'm not sticking around.
Yep.
I know exactly what's going to go on, and I'm getting my ass the hell out of here. So he grabs Luther as insurance
Yep.
and pulls him with him. And Gramps is like, oh, I hear him grabbing him, and I hear the footsteps running up. Oh, I don't know what he's going to do. Lord, what's going on? And then Bouncer gets up, and he's like, I'm going to crush the red man for what he just did. They just keep fighting, and then he just picks up... Jem picks up the clock or armoire thing again.
Whatever it is, yeah.
Throws it hard enough at Bouncer to knock Bouncer out of the apartment into the street.
Yep.
Yep.
And then Jem flies. Apparently he can fly.
You can fly now.
Out
yeah.
the hole
Jem has many
and up
powers.
onto the roof where Reginald is holding Luther with a knife.
Yeah.
And Reginald is not fazed by this.
No.
He's not freaked out
yeah,
by an
whatever.
alien
Flying
or someone
dude, sure.
flying.
You live the life.
Does not care. He's just like, hey, look, freak. You understand this? You come close to me. I'm going to kill this kid with a knife.
Right.
And
That's
drop
it.
him off a building.
Yeah.
I'm gonna do both things.
Yep. Stab.
Double kill him.
So, like, you back off.
He's a vampire.
Don't come near me.
Right.
And he gets closer and closer to the edge of the building. Until, apparently, Gramps makes his way up onto the roof,
Yep.
somehow hooks his cane around Reginald's neck,
Yeah.
and yanks him back.
Yep.
Yep.
He is blind.
Yeah. No, he's
He heard him.
Yep.
Yeah. He used his echolocation to sense where his.
He's got that cane. He's
Necklace,
bashing
yeah.
against things
Yeah.
like Daredevil.
Taps it against.
Well, he
Oh,
probably
wait,
heard
this
him
is a body.
like
Yeah.
yelling about
Yeah.
Right.
He
killing
probably
his,
just
his
maybe got
grandson.
lucky. He
Yeah, he
swung
got
it in an
lucky.
arc and he
Yeah.
felt something and he pulled it back.
It's the last thing he ever does. So,
So
give him-
Gramps causes all three of them to fall off the building.
I'm
Yep.
like,
Reginald lets go of
Yukon
Luther.
freaking Cornelius.
The greatest wonder of them all.
I'll just tumble over the side of the building.
And then Gramps and Reginald both fall off the edge as well.
Yep, everyone.
And then Jem flies down, catches Luther. He's like, oh, you saved me, thank you. And then he turns around and sees his grandpa on the sidewalk dead. And he just goes, Gramps, you let him die. Why?
He starts
and
beating
then
on Jem.
in half a heartbeat, like, Jem starts crying, and then Luther looks at him and becomes the most understanding kid in the entire world. Which is like, all right,
He sees him
well,
cry. He made him cry.
I was your only friend, and you decided to save me. I guess I can't really blame you for that. And then then Luther picks up Grandpa's cane, and the two of them just walk off into the distance.
Yeah. That was
So
fun.
that was Jem, son of Saturn.
What an adventure.
What an adventure, indeed. Anyway, I'm going to talk about Vigilante.
Yay.
You want Resurrection Man? Well, because you're going to get it. I'll just give it to you right now.
Let's get yourself ready.
All right, Vigilante is created by Marv Wolfman and George Perez, the Titan team who helped make the new Teen Titans something worth buying. And it's written and edited by Marv Wolfman and drawn by Keith Pollard and Dick Giordano, who are also huge influences in the DC pantheon and comics in general. The story opens with a fable for our times. And so, like, a mundane contemporary story is told as though it were a classic tale of heroism in history.
But gather round, all
Yes.
ye people, and listen to this story.
So we learn about DA Adrian Chase, who was a really, really good lawyer and district attorney, and he put away a lot of criminals. And then one day, he put away a really big gang, and that gang, like, boss put a bomb in his house or apartment and killed Adrian's wife and kids. And Adrian died for 7 minutes and then awoke a new man who was the Vigilante. Like, not a personality, he just decided, oh, screw my old life, it's all dead. It's Punisher.
Yes.
Same thing.
Yeah. Well, they mentioned in the opening that some of the people he put away or he arrested, like they got off.
Yes.
On technicalities.
Right.
Yeah.
And so
that sucks.
This new Punisher is basically like, I am Punisher, but with more like hitches, more things that hang me up. So it's like, one man war on crime, that's too generic. What if it was just people who got convicted of crimes, but then got away with it anyway?
Right.
Well,
That specific circumstance.
Yeah.
They were accused.
Or
they
were
found.
they
Yeah.
manipulated the system in
Right.
some way.
Or a judge was in their pocket,
Yeah,
or the evidence was thrown out.
Yep, so Vigilante will shoot them with his gun.
Yeah.
And that's the plan.
Maybe.
Wow, what a
Maybe
good
he will.
lawyer.
Sometimes he'll shoot them. Sometimes he'll just talk to them.
Right, or just talk to them.
And promise to kill them
Seemingly
later.
most of the time, he's just going to avoid it because someone comes to him with a plan that is in keeping entirely with his MO, and he's like, no. And then they say that he's a person he wants to fuck over anyway is involved. He's like, okay, never mind. And
Oh,
you're like,
done.
Oh, see, you're just a huge hypocrite. So anyway,
It's like that's in this story.
yeah.
My goodness.
So we meet up with Brand, who is just one of the greatest comic book villains I've ever seen in my life.
It's like if Colonel Sanders went bad.
It's like Deathstroke the Colonel. Because Brand he has the best haircut I've ever seen.
Yep.
He's like a 60-year-old midlife crisis man who has special sticks with bees at the end of them that are hot. They're Brands.
Where does he keep them?
Right. That's
they're
part
in
of
his
his
pouch.
power.
How do they heat up?
Well, no. On his belt are little like cylinders that
They're
telescope out,
telescoping, yeah.
and then the bees must be on a separate compartment that he attaches, and I guess they also self-heat. In any case, he uses them and like throws them at people, or he stabs them. Either way, he burns them. Somehow, the Brands also kill them immediately. Let's not get into the intricacies
Sometimes
of
they
Brand.
don't.
Branded.
Right.
Luckily, there's a bee on his belt.
I think
so
he
we
takes
know
those
who it
off.
is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe that's the heating element.
Yeah.
Could be. Yeah, it's a heating bee
Oh,
that he
it's
takes
like
off.
an old school cigarette lighter.
Yes.
Yeah, it's
Cigarette-
electrically powered.
Hang on, you're gonna have to give me at least 2 to 3 minutes before this is actually ready.
Yeah. So
I'll brand you soon.
just hold
Just
still.
hang on, just wait.
Yeah. I thought that his thing was going to be that he like killed people and then
branded them. Just so you know who killed them.
Right.
No, he
No.
kills them with the brand.
He somehow was able
Somehow.
to weaponize
the brand.
the brand.
Granted, that does damage to your body, but it doesn't kill you.
It's
No,
also like, how does it get hot that fast?
So-
It doesn't make sense.
but it
It's
does.
wildly impractical.
So anyway, Brand and Quilt are in Quilt's like Connecticut estate.
Yep.
And Brand's like, tomatoes are looking really good. And Quilt's like, no, this soda sucks. It's got too much alcohol in it. And then like, and Quilt is like this well-to-do mob boss of some
Yeah.
kind. And he has like a litter of puppies that are about to be killed by a cat, which is never going to happen, but whatever. And then the mother like dog shows up and kills the cat to show that like to demonstrate Quilt's belief that like you take care of your own.
yes.
I didn't care for these.
I can imagine. I remember reading it and going, uh-oh.
That's the theme of the book right there.
Yeah.
Killing
Parents
cats.
protecting their own.
So that.
So then we go to Brooklyn and we meet up with like an impossibly attractive woman and her old husband,
Which
and
I thought was her
father
father.
husband.
which and their impossibly haired son. This is all important and not actually an oversight. But anyway, we meet up with this nuclear family in this apartment, and Bran kicks in the door, and he's like, "I've got something to say, and it's specifically about that woman over there." And the dad has none of it because he loves her unconditionally. And he's like, "Screw you! You enter my home, I'm gonna kick your ass." And so Bran's like, "No, you're not. I'm gonna punch you because you're old, and it's more fun to punch old men in the face."
It's
And
softer
then-
on my hands.
Yeah, so then he grabs the woman, and he's like, I'm gonna brand her, man, if you don't back off. I'm gonna brand her face.
It's like original or extra crispy.
We all know it's always gonna be extra crispy. And so the husband father he just goes like, okay, well, I'm just gonna grab my gun and shoot you. Is that cool? Yeah, I'm just gonna do that. So he just grabs his gun and he shoots Brand in the head,
Yep.
which somehow doesn't kill Brand.
Yep.
And
Well,
Brand's
it
like,
hits
oh,
his
nice.
glasses.
Oh, that's right. It does ricochet off his
It
glasses.
really doesn't do that. It really shoots
No,
him.
because it breaks his glasses.
Yeah, but
It does.
shoots him
It
in
goes
the
like through
head.
his glasses and like grazes the side of his head.
Yeah.
If he had
Yes.
hair there, it would have like flown off.
Yeah.
Oh, that's why he shaved his head, is for aerodynamics to
Yeah,
deflect
it's
bullets.
not because he's losing his hair on both sides. So, Dad,
No, Mr. Skunk Man, you're not going to be our enemy
our
for the book.
So Dad, husband, shoots him in the face, and then he's like, "Oh, you shot me in the face. Now you're dead."
Yeah.
Now you
First, I'm
crossed
gonna
it.
run away, but
So
then later you'll be dead.
So they go.
Yeah.
So then the dad husband is tried and convicted in a court of law because he used an unregistered handgun to defend his family in his home.
Yep.
And so he's like, "Screw this! I'm out of here!" And he just runs away. He's like,
out of the
"Oh no, you
courtroom."
don't!" Now, by the way, like this book only hinges on everyone who seemingly is reasonable behaving unreasonably.
Yeah.
The father's like, "Nope," and he just bails.
snap.
Can
That's all it
can I give you
It's
guys a
awesome.
little like insight into how Tiffany read this book?
Okay.
She totally missed this first page, and so for a second I was like, "This is Vigilante."
I read the first page and I was like, wait, is he the same guy?
Right.
As Vigilante?
I was
That's
like,
it. I'm gonna
that's-
hit the gym, and
I was like,
I was
"That's so
what is
bizarre."
happening? 'Cause he's wearing
Okay.
green. And
No,
in
I
the
know.
beginning
Like
he's-
literally, I was like, "All right," but I missed that first page. So I didn't
Yeah.
even see that
But
guy.
it's like, why are we
Oh,
spending so
man.
much time with this person who's not Vigilante?
Right.
Where is Vigilante?
He's
Vigilante
coming.
must have been in the book by now, right?
Nope, he's coming. So
One day.
So dad husband blasts through Quilt's window at a dinner party, which also conveniently enough has the judge that he has in his pocket who convicted the dad
It's
of
a
this
thank
crime.
you dinner.
It's a thank you dinner. Yeah,
yeah.
he's she's
something nice.
paying it forward.
Yeah.
So so dad husband blasted the window with a shotgun. He's like, "That's it!" And then he gets branded in the back and dies.
Gets branded to death.
Meanwhile, on Staten Island, we meet up with Adrian, who is the vigilante, and he's hanging out in this sweet camper, this
Oh, yeah.
awesome Winnebago.
Oh, man, he's got the life right
And
here.
he is brooding in his easy chair, and he's doing that so that we can meet the swell supporting cast that supports Vigilante in his quest.
Helpfully describe their roles.
Their roles.
And
to
their
each
names
other. Yeah.
in detail.
Oh, that's right. We got Teresa and JJ. Teresa's the sexy secretary helper, and JJ's the hacker
And weapons.
and weapons,
Weapons
expert.
expert, yeah.
So
And wearer of bedazzled jeans.
this is true. So anyway, so Teresa then goes to Vigilante and she runs down the first part of the book. Vigilante's like, "Lame, no, thanks, pass. I've got to face justice." And then
Not
she's
gonna
like,
help your friend.
Yeah, and she's like, "Well, he was working for Quilt," and he's like, "Quilt! Oh, I'm on it." So then he puts on his Vigilante costume, jumps on this awesome gyroscopically balanced motorcycle. Does that work?
Nope.
And he drives around, and he also has like another vow. Well, let's add a couple of more elements to Vigilante. Vigilante chases down people who escaped justice but were also convicted of it,
Which is not Quilt.
which is not Quilt, but he's also going to go after Quilt. And he also has a vow that he will not hurt or allow law enforcement agents to be hurt in his pursuit of justice.
Because they're just doing their job.
So he avoids them expertly
Except
on
when they're
his,
not doing their jobs because people
They're
are
in.
are in their pocket.
Right.
Yeah.
But we don't know. Well,
Fucking ridiculous.
this book doesn't have any police officers who are corrupt.
No.
Only a corrupt.
Yeah, only
judge.
corrupt judges and politicians.
Because we
They-
take this stuff to the courts.
Yeah,
Yes.
because they're hoity-toity, well-to-do people, and
Yeah.
it sucks.
Yeah, these are working
Cops are working class.
Stiffs.
Yeah, who
Yeah.
just get screwed over by the system.
Yep. So Vigilante meets up with the widow, and he's like, "What's up?" And she's like, "I wanna see Quilt pay." And he's like, "Right on, you got it." So then he goes and like attacks Quilt's stronghold in Connecticut with his awesome gyroscopically balanced motorcycle, which also has Sidewinder
rockets.
missiles and stuff. So he just
Awesome.
and he attacks the outside. He he drives his motorcycle at a bulldozer, which is also because they're building
There's some
the
kind of
compound.
construction happening.
There is construction. We set that up in the beginning of the book. Again, not lazy. I appreciate it. He jumps all over the bulldozer and then knocks out the guy and then uses the bulldozer to push the rest of the guys into a conveniently poured concrete slab so they all die.
So
And
that means
then-
that those workers poured that, didn't finish it off,
Nope.
and then
Nope.
left for
and
the
then
day.
left it.
Yep.
And
We'll
it's
just-
like nighttime.
Yeah.
We'll
Cure.
do it in the morning.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
will cure.
Oh.
It needs
We'll
8
have to
hours.
Is it
like-
gonna harden? Don't we have to
No,
leave
in
it.
the morning.
It'll be fine.
It'll be
done.
fine. We're not done yet.
Yep.
So
he leaves these people to
drown in
slowly
cement.
drown and like harden to death in
Yes.
cement.
Right.
Also,
which is
It's
all-
pretty awesome.
It's just
It's
wet
pretty
cement.
dope.
They're gonna get out.
No, they're not, because that bulldozer's still moving. So he's driving it. So I think he pushes them into it, and then we'll spare you the gory details
Yeah,
because
how he like holds them down.
yeah, he takes
until
the
they
thing. He's like,
drown.
Justice.
so then he goes and faces the Brand, and Brand is
Yeah.
like using his silly ass thing as like a sword, and they have a cool fight that leads them into.
As it turns
the
out,
building.
Vigilante uses nunchucks, so he's super cool.
He does have nunchucks, which he uses to combat Brand's ranged weapon.
Yeah, and Brand gets a brand on him.
He does get a brand on him.
Yeah,
well,
which
he,
we don't see.
no, well he's about
see
to
it
get
in a
him.
later
No, he
scene.
snaps.
No, he does get him.
Oh yeah, okay. So he does brand him, but we don't see that.
Yeah, we just see the results.
He's got a
of it.
bee.
Oh, he
and I'm
beats
like,
his
is
shoulder.
Yeah, gets him right there.
Oh, there you go.
that where it is?
I get it has to be, right?
I guess so.
Yeah. it was in
it's
no
hitting-
other
there's
place.
there's a little thing coming out of his
Yeah,
shoulder.
But
there it
that
is.
looks like
But it's very poorly drawn.
it is.
Yep.
So-
Let's not get into it.
So Brand and Vigilante fight. Brand gets him on the shoulder, and their fight leads them through a window into Quilt's house. And they're struggling, and then Quilt's like, hey, whoa. Well done, Vigilante. Listen, would you kill me if you knew that Mrs. Reynolds was a total bitch?
I challenge you to
basically
a
what
game of
happened.
hand squash.
Let's play hand squash, and indeed they play it. So Vigilante is like, "You're a dick, Quinn, but I will see where this is going." And the
Yep.
two of them literally walk into the squash court, and they play together hard because they're both sweating.
Yep.
And
This is where the book lost
This
me.
is bizarre.
and,
This
and
is where the book
like I was
lost you.
about to kill you,
This.
but I'll hear you out.
I'll hear you out. So Quilt, like,
Bad guy.
Quilt sows the seeds of doubt in Vigilante's
Yeah.
mind because, like, it's. I think they're also trying to say, like, well, Vigilante is like Vigilante is a criticism of the Punisher. Like, he never thinks about what he's doing, but like,
Right.
Vigilante does, and he
Yeah.
weighs his options.
He's
and
gonna
that's-
make sure.
Vigilante's
sure.
a stickler.
Yeah, he's a stickler.
Yeah.
So
I was a
anyway,
lawyer, you know.
right. So Vigilante clocks. He sucker punches Brand on the way out,
Yep.
and then leaves. And Quilt's like, "Let him go. I've already ruined him by lying to him and him being a rube."
Yep.
So,
Well, he partially lied.
well,
Yeah,
yes, it's
I-
true.
I sowed the seeds of doubt in his
Uh-huh.
mind.
I
and
misdirected
destroyed
his
him.
anger.
Yes. So he tracks down Mrs. Reynolds because she left her original lodgings, moves in with, I think, her dad.
Yeah.
Yep. This is her
Who is,
actual
who is
dad.
equally aged.
No,
And
he
maybe
is.
her
He is
husband?
way older.
Is he?
Yeah.
Is
Yeah,
he her
he-
grandpa?
Yeah,
husband?
yeah.
He
he's
might be
got-
related to Brand though.
That's
He's
true.
bald, right?
Yeah, he is bald.
Yeah.
That's how you know he's old.
Yeah.
So, anyway, he throws like the file, the dossier he has on Mrs. Reynolds on the table. He's like, "All right, I know what's going on. You used to work for Quilt, and then banged him, and that kid is Quilt's son."
Yeah, and she's also blackmailing him.
she's
Right, and
blackmailing.
she.
that was the thing he said. He's like, she was blackmailing me.
Right, yeah,
Yeah.
she was extorting
I'm not
me
a
for
bad
money.
guy.
I'm not a bad guy. She's the bad guy.
then
She just
it's-
wants to get out of it now.
But then it's not money.
No, it's not.
It's
He
just-
was blackmailing Quilt to stay away from his influence to not like take care of.
Yeah, she
His
didn't.
son.
She didn't tell him that it was his kid. She just left and
Yep.
then like used the blackmail she had against him so he would leave her alone.
Right,
Yeah.
exactly. So she, tearfully explains all this to him. Vigilante was like, "Ooh, I'm really gonna kill Quilt now.
yeah,
Cool."
yeah.
But before they know it, Brand
Now I
has
know for
tracked
sure.
them down.
He's
Back
like,
to my
I'm
original
He's
plan.
like, I'm kind of getting off on this. Hang on a second.
Let's move over to the bed.
So Brand gets 5 individual brands in a bundle
of
He's-
different colors.
different colors and varying degrees of heat, and he throws them all into the house.
Yep.
Which luckily he is the worst shot ever.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, they are brands.
on sticks.
They're not
So-
really aerodynamic in any way.
So then
I'm
Vigilante.
gonna throw a fire poker at you.
Yeah.
Hwah.
So Vigilante gives chase to Brand, but on his way out, he does tell her, call the fire department and make sure they put out these fires, and then you can leave.
Yeah.
Which I think is hilarious because it's like, maybe you want to get out first, but either
Yeah,
way.
that's actually incorrect information
Right.
to tell people about what to do about fires.
In fact, if you are in a fire, leave first,
Yeah.
then call the fire
At least he
department.
wasn't like, okay, stop, drop, and roll. I'm not on fire.
Yeah, no, but the building is.
and I
So-
like that he's just like, look, I'm not a fireman. I can't deal with this.
Right,
I
but
can't even put out a
can-
small fire.
I'm not even
This
going
is
to
my
help you
job.
get out of the house.
No,
I
I've
have
got to
to
go.
leave.
I got to fight Brand.
Here's what you need to do: grab all your belongings before you go, so
Yep.
that it doesn't get burned up in the fire.
Especially like, memorabilia, things
Yeah.
that have no
Yeah.
monetary value.
Yes.
Pets.
Yep.
I'm sure those are very easy
Yep.
to
Make sure you
corral.
grab all that before
Yep.
you get out.
So Vigilante chases Brand, and they drive through hot spots that mean something to Vigilante. Like they hit Coney Island, and they're driving through, like these key places that Vigilante had sentimental value to because he spent time with his wife or
Because
children.
he was there once.
And
Yep.
And
now
he had
he
a nice
holds a
time
grudge
there.
against Brand.
Yeah, for
Yeah, for
destroying
ruining-
these
Oh,
things.
how dare you come to this place of mine that I had memory.
Yeah.
It's a public
Yep.
place, dude.
Yeah, so Vigilante eventually tracks Brand or chases him down into the Cyclone, which is a real location in Chicago, and they fight all the way up the roller coaster, and then right before the roller coaster car would be coming towards them, Vigilante indicates that Brand is going to get hit by the roller coaster, and when Brand looks, that's when Vigilante strikes and grabs Brand's own Brand and brands his face.
And then
And then
throws
kicks
off.
him off the side of that roller coaster.
Yep.
There was never any danger of being hit by the roller coaster. I thought we were going to get some cool Dark Knight Returns, maybe lop the guy's head off with the roller coaster thing.
Or
but
like
no.
Vigilante jumps out of the way and
Yeah, and then
just
Brand gets hit by a roller coaster. Nope, he just brands his
sweet.
face. Sweet poetic justice.
Yeah.
Then Vigilante goes back to Reynolds' dad's house to be patched up.
Yeah, because he got bees all over him.
Yep, he's got all these bees.
Got another bee.
Oh no, he's not dead.
Yeah. Also, I'm sure they will pay attention to all the bees that Vigilante has. I know. One brand and you die.
That was the death brand.
Yes.
There's different types
Yeah,
of
totally
brand
different.
weapons.
These are the torture
Yeah.
brands.
Yeah.
I
only
got
had one
pain
of
brands, I
those.
got torture brands.
Yeah.
I even have
You know what it
pleasure
was?
brands.
He
for some
branded
of
him in
you
the
out there.
back.
Yeah.
You can't.
You can't come back.
You
from
can't come back from
brand
brand in the
branding.
back. Yeah.
So anyway, Vigilante's like, all right, now that I'm patched up, I'm gonna go kick ass. So then he goes to Quilt's place, and he reveals that like the kid. Well, Quilt reveals that he knew that it was his son.
Yeah.
And he wanted him back.
Yeah.
He's like, I want him now.
Vigilante
Yeah.
brought him the file. He's like, here are the files you wanted.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
That's not what I wanted.
No, he didn't
No,
bring
he-
him. He has the
yeah, he
files.
does
He
have
tells him
files.
you're gonna go away.
Yeah,
He's
he's
like,
like-
I'm gonna use this against you.
Right.
Yeah. It's like, why don't you just kill him? You're a vigilante.
Because then he does after that. Like immediately, Quilt's
Yeah.
like, "Well, you think you're a smart guy, see?" And he pulls out his gun, and then Vigilante
Because
shoots
then
him.
we wouldn't have the poetry ending
Yes.
of this
Right.
book.
And
Right.
the very confusing 3 panels where it looks like Vigilante just waits there for a minute
Yeah.
and then pulls out his gun and shoots.
Yes.
him.
There's
Yeah.
this like really weird time lapse of Vigilante drawing his gun, which is I think supposed to indicate how fast he is.
Yeah.
Just a second. We
It's
had
like-
to slow it down, otherwise we wouldn't even know
wouldn't even
what
know.
happened.
Yeah,
Yeah, so
but
Vig-
they don't really depict that it's slow in any way. They don't use any kind of like
Motion
visual
lines,
device
nope.
or anything to show that like this is a slow motion depiction of a thing that happens really
It's
fast.
just kind of like he's just like,
It looks like he's just like,
you know what?
Yeah, I guess I'll kill you.
blah, and the guy's holding a gun at him the whole time, just
Yeah,
like,
it's like-
lets him pull a gun out and
now I'm gonna
him in
shoot
slow
you!
motion. Like,
It's-
it's
Like, he was
bizarre.
distracted by that box of puppies.
Yeah.
Remember the puppies?
But there is a box of puppies next to his desk, and the photo of Quilt with his son
Yeah.
falls into it, and the puppies like
How would he have that?
bite it. He had it in his desk the
No,
whole time.
how would he
Yeah,
have a
how
photo?
did he get that photo?
Oh, because he must have been there at the birth of the child.
But she left before the kid was born.
And he photoshopped it because that's
He
in
just
this
got
book.
a different baby.
Yeah.
Hey,
it was like
yeah.
there's a place. They all look the same.
One day it was a bring your child to work day.
and he borrowed one.
Hey, thumb
Yeah.
screws.
Yeah, sure.
Bring your
Wolfman and Perez, Dream Team Titans. No. Wolfman and Perez, Vigilante. Number 1.
Yeah.
So can you tell us about this Resurrection Man? But first, show off this awesome cover, which is the reason we own it.
Yeah.
There's
Can't tell, it's
there's
a
a little
hologram.
lenticular circle pasted to the front of the book in the skull's
I
Eye socket.
eye hole there.
Yeah,
Uh-huh.
and what's it of?
It's like it's 3 things. It's a skull, and then it's a man, and then it's a demon, and then it goes back into the skull. It's actually really done nicely. It's well done.
Pretty
Yeah,
nice.
it's just a
It's
cool
well
cover.
It's a skull and a skull.
It is a skull and a skull, but then there's also a demon.
And then
a
also a demon and
And
a
also a
skull.
demon.
technically we're all just skulls.
Right.
Anyway, this book's written by Dan Abnett with art by Andy Lanning. Man, I didn't want this book.
Well, you got it.
I did. This is a Resurrection Man is like a cool concept.
Yes.
Yeah.
It is.
This book is
Not cool.
not.
But if it was a show,
Resurrection
on
Man is a
NBC.
cool concept. End of story there. Resurrection Man's about a guy named Mitch who, at the beginning of this book, we see him like floating in a like pseudo like Christ-like position where like essentially
he's Resurrection Man.
He's Resurrection Man. We're gonna have some imagery here.
And symbolism.
By the way, I really like how they did the credits. For this page.
Yeah.
They're on the exit
looks
sign of a highway.
Freaking
It's cool.
really nicely
That
done.
first page, I was like, oh, okay.
Oh, a book.
Oh.
Oh, no. Let's let them decide.
All right.
Okay.
We're not there yet.
I'm wearing my heart on my sleeve here with this book. Because like I said, it's a cool concept.
Yeah,
It is.
Anyway, so Mitch was like didn't remember or know anything about himself. Finds himself on a highway.
Yep.
Yeah.
On a highway where there is
Walking around.
car that is filled with stoner gangbangers who decided that they had to mark their turf by doing a drive-by. Now, in my opinion, it's really hard to do a drive-by when everybody's driving by.
Like 80 miles per hour.
Yeah.
Everybody's
Drive-by
driving.
is when you're in a car
And they're stationary.
and the victims are standing.
You are driving
they're
by
not
them.
moving. He gets shot up and then falls immediately into a pile of garbage and dies.
Yep.
And then it's like a flashback to a bunch of stuff, which is funny because it's like it isn't this like spiral layout, but like Western comics have taught you to read left to right, but you can't do with these panels. Because it's like happy birthday, blah blah blah, getting married. Oh, doctors, I'm dead. Anyway, like.
Yeah.
And
Oh man, I totally read that wrong then.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's very confusing.
It is.
But it's flashbacks, so it doesn't really matter.
It is,
It's
yeah,
kinda confusing.
exactly.
It's confusing to him, so
Yes.
you know.
Yeah.
So we
So
can
you
all
can read
be-
it however you want,
Put
I
yourself
guess.
in Mitch's shoes.
Yeah.
So then he wakes up and he's just like, I'm alive. How can I be alive? I don't understand. What is this like? How is this possible? And then like a rat is on his shoulder and he like freaks out. And upon freaking out, he
Which we all would.
Yeah.
I mean like it's clearly been there for a while because
Right.
he stood up and like it's
And
not
it
like
was there with him.
Yeah, it's not like it leapt on him from the
Right.
ground to his
Hi,
shoulder.
Mitch, I'm your new friend.
Yeah, so like he notices that there's
I'd
a
freak
rat
out.
there, and he's like, "Blah!" And like when he freaks out, like he causes a forceful wall of air. We hear a lot about this air
Yes.
in
Yeah.
this issue.
Hard
It's
air
just a big
wall.
fart.
Yeah.
Which is
Okay.
really important because at the end of this issue, he's definitely going to still have that power.
Yeah. So well, that's like
I know.
it's the journey. So anyway, he's just like, whoa, that's new, that's different. The rat's gone. I guess I obliterated it. Anyway, then he looks down and he sees a Betty Boop snow globe, and he's just like, oh, I'm having a
That
flashback.
copy of Action Comics #1.
Oh my God, yes.
Oh. It's filled with Easter
Grab
eggs.
it!
There's also, it's funny.
Not garbage.
Look what else is in here. There's a big Billy Burger.
Oh!
Oh. That's cool.
So anyway, he has another flashback, which like shows him like images of a woman saying like, "You're doing court today," and a very
Snow globe.
specific snow globe, which has a souvenir of Viceroy.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm not saying that correctly. Anyway, he's just like, "That's crazy." I mean, like, here's the thing. I don't
None of it
remember
means anything
anything.
to me.
I did just think I died, and I came back, and I have these crazy powers. But you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna go to the library, and I'm gonna research this. So he goes to the library, and they kick him out because he looks like a bum.
Because he is a bum.
Because he has a bomb.
Yeah.
You know what they
Or
call
he
you?
knows.
That's a bum.
That's right.
But you know what? If he wants to learn, the library cannot tell you no. I mean,
Yeah.
they can. But like literally a dude like goes to kick him out, and his librarian shows up, and it's just like, come back later.
Yeah.
Because
Because I think you're cute.
otherwise the story's not going anywhere.
No.
So he comes back later on, and he's chatting with Irma,
Yes.
the most librarian name they could come up with, and she's just like showing him how the internet works. She's like, well, see, you boot this up, and then you go here, and you put in your search terms, and then we hit enter, and it's going to take a while
right.
because it's 1997.
96. Yep.
So he's like, okay, here's what I remember. Attorney, Viceroy, and a big explosion. These are the things I remember. And she's like, okay.
Let me just
Like,
pop
that
this
might
into
take
Ask
a while,
Jeeves.
but all right.
Like, dog pile this. So she puts it all in, and she's like, cool. So anything else you remember? And he's just like, not really. I've got like this crazy stuff. And he's like, when I woke up, and she's like, woke up? He's like, yeah. Let's not talk about why I woke up and
Yeah.
where I was or what happened to me, because I don't think you're going to believe that I died.
Nope.
Right.
And then literally she turns around and she's like, oh, it found something, and it's exactly what he needs.
Everything he
Yep.
needs.
It's
Wow.
a-
His whole life right there.
It's a newspaper article about how local lawyer Mitch Shelley died in an explosion.
Yeah.
Which, back then, you would never get that hit.
No.
No.
No. No, you would not.
He's like, wow,
Not
that's
without
me.
hours of research.
Yeah.
Yeah. it says I died, but like I've been gone for a couple of years and I had a wife, so I guess I'm not asking you out. Anyway, we go to a rest area where there's like a guy who has like the inverse word balloons that are like jagged, so it's like immediately you're tipped off as the reader. You're not hiding anything from us right now.
Nope.
There's a dude, he's in a room which looks like a bathroom,
It is
but
a
it
bathroom.
has like, I guess it's a person. I thought that was a number 4.
Oh.
So he's in the bathroom and
Of
he's
like a
of a yeah, it's a rest area, and he's like rinsing his hands, and he's talking to this guy. He's just like, man, appreciate you picking me up. I'm like, that's like snowing and stuff like that. It's real bad out there, and like, gotta make sure you wash up because grooming's important and all that crap. And then he throws cologne on his face in a way I've never seen anybody use that much cologne in my life.
Well, he really smells.
And he's a creep.
Yeah, I guess so.
Weird.
And like
weird stuff.
and like when we come to realize he's talking to a dead guy, he killed the guy who took him, like who picked him up, and he's
Yes.
just like, and now to find my next ride, like that's his thing. I'm a serial killer. People will pick me up, die, cool.
Right.
But he has like these jagged, like otherworldly word balloons, which suggests to me that he's some kind of demon.
Yes.
Yeah, it's some kind of power.
There's something more to it. So Irma takes Mitch to a like
kitchen?
Yeah, a mission.
Right.
Where she works. So she's a librarian by day and social worker by night.
That's right.
And because she had a son who got hooked on drugs and then disappeared, and she's just like, I can never find him, but like I like to think like helping people like you is gonna make a difference. He's like, that means so much to me. And it's like, why?
I'm amazed that she's not able to find him immediately on the internet, where she just goes in lost son.
This date.
Mine.
Mine. Oh, here's the hit. I must be the best librarian
I
ever.
found it.
But he does get a haircut while he's there.
Oh yeah,
That's
yeah,
right,
yeah. Like they
gets
trim his
cleaned up.
hair so
Yeah.
he looks cool and such, and then they have this like aha moment where like he's like, I'm gonna tell you my secret.
But she doesn't mean aha like I just found it out.
No.
Or you mean aha the band. Because it turns black and white and gets all take on me in this
Yeah.
panel because that's exactly what it looks like.
It's artistic.
And
Well,
she's like,
sketchy.
well, hang on, before you tell me anything, I have to finish working. And then outside we cut to the mystery machine. And there's these
what I thought of
two
too.
chicks inside. They're the body doubles. And basically they're like mercenaries. They're bounty hunters.
Yeah, they're
And-
sexy 90s mercenaries.
Yeah, and like
mercenaries.
someone put some sort of tracer on like the information that Mitch found out about, and they found out that like someone had accessed it.
Yep.
Yeah.
And they're looking for this guy now
it
because
was-
like
Because they went to the library and they weren't there and they tracked her down to
Yeah.
this
So
place.
it has to be a mission.
and like I think I don't know if it's earlier or later, but there's like a point where that is later. So they know that like the librarian works here. She hasn't gone home. She
Nope.
must be there. Okay, cool. So one of the chicks, Carmen, who doesn't wear a shirt, goes into this place. It's very intentional. She's trying to be like, haha,
she's trying
check
to
out,
distract
look at the
people.
goods.
Yeah.
And she has a photo of Mitch, and she's just like, all right, anybody's seen Mitch. And Mitch is in the background. He's like right there.
Yeah.
Yep.
Just like,
Oh, and like not whispering at all. He's like, we gotta go.
yeah.
And they're like, hey, that guy said we gotta go. And I think it's the guy we're
Well,
looking
she
for.
doesn't really have time to even think about that because like some homeless guy's like, hey, honey.
Yeah, and she's like, oh, gross. I don't
Yeah.
know why. I don't know why that happened.
Yeah.
Leave Mitch alone.
Right?
It's
So,
like a guy.
yeah, so she drops her purse and she picks up a can, like an aerosol can, and like it shoots fire out of it.
Yup.
Fire.
Yeah. It produces fire when she just presses the top.
Yeah.
It's very intricate.
yeah. She knows brand. So it's
Listen,
Yeah.
she's a superpowered character because like she has multiple cool gadgets. She
Right,
has,
she's
like-
got
and they're
that-
all girl themed. Like I've got a self-defense like mace
compact.
can that shoots fire,
Fire,
and
and,
I
like,
got this like makeup compact.
I've got this like predator disc compact that I can throw at people.
Yeah.
And so she just starts killing homeless
she just
people.
starts murdering
And she's
people.
just, tell me where Mitch is. And it's
By
like,
the way, no problem with that whatsoever.
no, that's cool. That's
Yeah,
fine.
no,
We're just
it's
gonna
another homeless, whatever.
We're just gonna kill homeless people. It's
This
cool.
is the solution right here.
What?
Anyway,
Some finality
so
to it.
She sent her partner, I think Darlene,
Yes.
out back to watch the rear entrance. And so like when Mitch and Irma go around the corner, she's waiting there with a like submachine gun, and she opens fire immediately.
Yep.
And like Irma pushes him out of the way, and he's like, I should have pushed her out of the way because I can't seem to die, I
Right.
guess.
Yeah. You should have, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah, but like she did it instinctively, and like it looks like she
Oh,
got
she's
hit
a
in the
much better
shoulder.
person than I
Yep.
am.
The shoulder and the side.
Yeah, but then like
she did.
Irma dies. Like,
Yeah, she just
she
dies
doesn't make it.
immediately. Yeah.
And he's just like, oh, it's my fault. By the way, Mitch takes care of Darlene by using his hardened air, his wall of hardened air.
Yeah.
Yep.
Every time he uses his power, he describes the air
Yeah.
and how
It's
hard it
wall
is.
Hardened air.
Yeah.
Yes.
Hardened air.
What does that with his hard air?
Try to think
Hardened
about
air
that.
from my derriere.
Yeah. No, it's not that. It comes out of his hands. It's very obvious that it does.
Oh, he
So anyway,
Yeah,
It's-
that's basically what he does.
so it's snowing, and he just wanders off because he's a badass and a loner, and he's just like, I got her killed. If it wasn't for me, she wouldn't have died.
Well, better
That is
move on.
true.
Better be a grifter again.
Yes.
Yes. Lesson learned.
Now you learned it. So
Not
he
going
goes.
to go to the cops. I'm not going to do anything.
Don't help
Nope.
people.
He
Don't
he,
get help from people.
he comes across a diner-style rest stop that you see in movies.
Yep.
There's a cast of characters there. They're all chatting about the recent issues with a guy who like took a bunch of bullets and saved somebody like a hero. But then when they went to find the body, there was no body.
Oh, it's a kind of resurrection man.
Right, and there was a pastor there, and he, someone calls him an angel too. So we're
Yeah.
getting more of that,
More
those like.
imagery from.
But this pastor's like, I've heard stories on the road about resurrection men, people who like this guy who like gets a ride and then kills someone, but he can't be killed.
Yeah.
We call them resurrection man.
Yeah, I've also heard about this thing where like a newspaper will appear at someone's house and a cat will like be over it, and it's an earlier edition than.
Oh.
And also a guy who like leaps into other people's bodies. And he puts right what once went wrong. And you getting this so far?
Yeah.
It's a friggin' TV show pitch.
Right. So then, like they're all like having a good time, and the waitress there looks over and she sees a tanker truck that's barreling towards the diner, and they're like, "Oh my god,
Yep.
we're gonna die."
We're gonna freaking die.
But that's okay because like it hits the
pumps.
gas station pumps outside. It doesn't explode immediately, which I'm
No.
like, really? All right.
Thanks.
And
Thanks
like
for being
Kudos
real.
to the book.
Mitch is like, oh my god, if those pumps didn't start it, or stop it, this diner's certainly not going to stop it, but maybe I can.
Maybe my hardened air.
So he goes like running outside and
Yep.
like uses his wall of hardened air.
Give it your hard air.
Hard air it, man, and he stops it. And like the truck's like exploding everywhere, and he looks inside and he sees a guy who doesn't wake up, and he's like, I gotta save him, and he's like, oh, there's gas everywhere, and the gas starts catching on fire in
Yeah.
the slowest way that you've ever seen possible in
Yeah.
like a comic. Usually everything just explodes.
Yeah.
I guess sometimes they do it for dramatic effect.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
So he's like, hang on, he grabs the guy and he uses his air, and he
He blows himself away with the air.
he's like,
Pushes
it's like
off.
it's a bow wave of air that
Yeah.
shoots us out like a dart
Yep.
from a blowpipe, and I'm like, why are we so focused?
Stop
On what
describing
he's
how
doing.
his
That
power
was my
works.
cool power.
So like.
It's all I got.
He forces the guy away from the explosion, but he gets caught up in the explosion and he dies.
Yeah.
Yep.
And everyone's like, whoa. But like there was a blizzard going on, so like the cops couldn't get there for 3 days.
3 days.
days. Everybody hung out there.
Where is this? Are you in like a mountain pass?
No,
like,
that's
where
what
are you?
they were in Midtown.
Yeah.
You know what? This must be in Maine, where those Stephen King books take place.
Right?
You can't get anywhere there.
So
Yeah.
we
The
see
road's out.
yeah.
The one road.
It's
So
out.
we see a bunch of panels where, like, you think the cops are interrogating or, like, interviewing the witnesses,
Yeah.
but it turns out it's those two chicks, it's Carmen and Darlene.
Yeah.
And they're, like, talking about how, like, oh, this guy did this and he died. Every person says the same thing, and then the body wasn't there, or, like, the body was there, and they took it and they put it in, like, the walk-in
Yes.
out back in the
Yeah.
freezer.
3 days.
3 days.
3
Don't
days.
forget the 3
They
days.
put it in a cave in the back and pushed a boulder in front of it.
Right. Well, they put a padlock on the
put a padlock,
door
yeah.
Yeah.
so that
But it's the same
nobody
thing.
could desecrate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like the
Corpse.
preacher says.
So then they get to the padlock and it's been burnt. And they're like, what? But just the padlock.
Wait, how is it melted?
How
is
did
it
it-
melted with
Hard air?
Well, that
here's
doesn't
the
make any
thing.
sense.
For me, I don't understand
How
how.
did he melt it from the outside
Yeah, how
if he
did
was inside?
just the padlock get burnt?
How did it get burned? How did it get burned?
My question is, how does the driver recall anything and describe this to the two people? Because
Yeah.
he was
He was
unconscious the
unconscious.
whole time.
Or maybe he like woke up when he was like, wee.
Yeah.
Well, they told him about it, and then
Yeah,
he
yeah.
recalled
It was
as
pretty
if he was
badass.
dead.
You flew away.
Yeah.
So anyway, when they open up the freezer walk-in, the body's gone.
What?
And like we cut to Mitch and he's got a hat now and he's just like, I'm alive again. And now he has a totally different power because the resurrection man, every time he dies, he comes back with a totally different power. He doesn't know what it is, but this one is burning. And I was
Apparently
like,
how he died, I guess.
Oh, maybe.
maybe that's what it is.
Yeah, I think so.
Hard air.
How did he
Oh
die?
wait, he
from
got died by
hard
getting
air?
shot.
I think-
No, but he
multiple
died in
times.
an.
Shot.
Didn't
But-
he die?
Yeah, no,
he
he
was
got shot and then he
flying.
fell.
Oh, he fell through the air.
Well, I think it's because he flew. Like, that was part of his power.
Or yeah, maybe. Or the
No,
last thing
it
he
can't be
breathed was
because he
fire.
died in an explosion.
Maybe
I
it's,
think his previous power
maybe
was
he-
flying.
maybe-
and then
maybe he
died, and
flew
then he
away.
Had the,
Yeah.
he had the.
So like my question is like, can the powers repeat?
right. Because
Right.
like
Or
it's gonna
the-
get really complicated if you have more than 12 issues.
Yeah.
What if he dies in different, like, no, I already died by fire. If I die by fire again, then I'm really
That could
dead.
actually be like a cool hook where he's like, oh no, I need fire powers. Give me some fire. And he just burns his face until he
I'll
dies.
be back in 3 days to solve this problem.
Right.
That's not gonna
By the way,
work.
the town they were in was Crucible.
Yep.
Yeah.
Get it
And-
yet?
Yeah, and it's funny because he goes,
get it?
he's like, what they call me back there? Resurrection Man? I was like, they didn't call you anything.
No,
they
they
called
just
the guy
mentioned-
who kills people Resurrection Man.
Right.
Yeah.
No, I'm going to take that.
That sounds good,
I
though. I like
that.
that.
I like that, 'cause I am the resurrection.
I am
man
that.
now.
Yeah, but that's a murderer.
Nah, but I'm cool.
So,
with
like,
that.
conceptually, this is kind of an interesting idea.
Yes.
The way this is written is so, like, trying to convince you that this is badass instead of just, like, relying on its laurels
It's
that this
a-
is an interesting concept.
it's a
And
non-Vertigo
Mitch
book.
sucks.
Yes, and that's exactly what it
Yes.
reminded me of. I was
Yeah.
just like, this
They
is...
want you to think Vertigo
Right, but I don't.
because it's
Yeah,
not.
but I know it's not, though. It's clearly not.
Yeah.
But like, I feel like had you just like not tried to impress me with like how brooding and moody and how cool Mitch is, Mitch might have actually been an interesting character.
Yep.
Yeah. So there you go.
Tiffany, I'm not a bum. I'm living the hard life.
Yeah.
No, I'm
My
rough.
hard air construct.
That's what he says. I think was it
Yeah.
him that says it's been rough, or he's
Yeah,
been,
he said it's been rough.
I can't remember if it's him that's rough or Vigilante that's rough.
Either way.
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah, I've been living rough.
Yeah.
That's it.
He says it a lot.
That's why he's so appreciative.
I'm
of
not a
her.
bum. I'm living rough.
It's just
helping
hard
bums.
air and living rough.
So the question that I have for this panel is which one's the good, which one's the bad, and which one's the ugly of these 3 obscure DC characters?
I don't have a good.
You don't have a good?
I don't.
Like which, not even like which character's good. I mean like
Yeah.
which issue is the best out of
He has
the
For me,
to pick one.
Resurrection Man is good. For me.
right? I think
I'm struggling between
Gem.
and this, and only
Resurrection
because
Man.
like Gem does a really good job of being like a cheesy kind of B sciencey thing, where it's just like man from outer space shows up.
But in like kind of a real world, like the
Yeah.
like the grandpa and the kids are kind of like legit. Like I kind of really like I get it, you know?
It
Yeah.
makes
Yeah,
sense.
like they have like a legitimate like plight that like could actually be real, and then like you drop an alien into the middle of it, and it's not hijinks ensues. It's
Yeah.
more or less like him trying to understand the emotional crux of what's happening
Yes.
while he's also being hunted down. I was like, that's kind of cool. We don't really see much of that in there, but
No. And
But
it
the
is
fact that-
friggin' boring.
well, yeah.
So.
and the fact that
That's my
Luther's
problem.
just a kid and he's just like, well, I guess we're just going to live together. We're going to be friends.
Yeah.
I believe that. I also believe Lincoln, who was just like, my life is freaking hard and I provide for this family and this guy is after my life, so I'm going to kill him instead.
Yeah.
Like, I was like, no, that's an entirely real choice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The drama in this book is like
Is
pretty
actually
well
pretty
done.
good.
Yeah.
It's hopelessly boring, so I'm voting for Resurrection Man. Like I was so bored, and by the end they're like, oh XKG 5, 6, 7, 8,
But that's
9,
like,
10.
but
I'm
that's like
boring. I don't
very,
care.
it's very sci-fi.
Yes.
It is.
But
It
It's
is
not
very
science
sci-fi.
fantasy,
Yep.
but it's very
It's true.
sci-fi.
But like
Very
I
true.
don't care about Gem, and I think it's hopelessly boring. Like I was just like after the family's done, I'm like, oh well, I don't care. Like I was more interested in the actual
Yeah.
like Earthbound drama than I was
Yeah.
in Gem.
For me, I'm more interested in like if they will focus on like the fact that now these two are sort of like
Connected.
connected or
Right.
like orphaned or alone. Like,
Yeah.
granted, Luther still has Lincoln, but like he's kind of been abandoned by him in a sense, and like Jem is completely alone in this world. And
Yeah.
like, what lessons will Jem learn?
Yes, from Luther.
Yeah.
I just want to see what powers Resurrection Man gets next. That's the only thing keeping me
Interested.
Really?
in that
Oh no,
book. That's
none of
the
these were
only
interesting to
thing.
me. It's just more like Resurrection Man was the most competently made book.
Right.
of the
Well, like
bunch.
I was thinking, like
just trying too hard.
not written in the time it was written, or written to try to convince you that this was interesting.
That's the thing.
This
Right.
could have been kind of
like
cool.
these two are from the 80s, and this one wishes it was.
Maybe.
Yeah.
I think this just wishes that it could stand there with Swamp Thing, Constantine, and Sandman.
Yeah, it does, and it's,
It's-
not.
Oh, yeah.
It can't. No.
What I liked about that book was just that it wasn't boring.
Yep.
The writing was okay.
Yeah.
The characters were like whatever. Like
Right.
it's-
I don't
it's-
care about
it's
anyone
very
in the books.
cliched.
Yep.
Yeah.
And but I'm like, okay, that's fine.
Yeah.
Like,
I'd
I've read
rather-
a million cliched things. It doesn't bother me that much.
Yeah.
I'd
And-
rather read about that world.
Yeah,
these other two.
The concept was really cool, and that unfortunately is the best thing about it is that someone had like a neat idea.
Yeah,
And the
and then they
execution is
couldn't
so
execute
poor.
it.
Yeah.
But I hate Mitch. Mitch sucks.
Yeah, Mitch is a tool.
Yeah,
but a
I
lot-
didn't hate him that much.
No, I don't know enough about him to hate him. I just think he's
Yeah,
like lame.
he doesn't have a lot going on. I do kind of want to know like where these powers come from. Like, how
Right.
did this
Especially since he
happen?
has all the information he needs to get his life together. Like,
Yeah.
well, when is he going to do that? Probably next issue, right? I mean, like, come on. I know that like
I mean, he still is missing
No,
gaps.
I gotta live rough.
Well, he has to go
That's
to
my
North
life.
Carolina.
he's got to go to North Carolina. He's got to get there. He's got to go
Yeah.
down the
And he's
coast.
got to at some point cross paths with the creepy guy with the text box.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and he'll
yeah.
probably explain a little bit more to him.
Right, definitely.
But no, I just wish Mitch
I'd
didn't
give it a
like
couple issues.
push himself.
Right.
And it's not his fault. It's
No,
just
I
the
got-
writing.
Yeah,
but
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah.
Which one's the bad?
Oh, I guess.
Then Jim.
Yeah. Oh, sorry. I guess I'll vote for this. I didn't.
Did you?
Oh,
like,
I
no,
didn't
I'm asking.
actually.
Yeah.
I didn't actually.
You didn't make a final decision.
Yeah, I'm really struggling because like
that
they're
your
both
ultimate
like
response?
they're kind of
both-
equal to me.
Yeah, I think there's an earnestness here.
Yeah.
But the boring makes
It's
it.
very boring.
I
No,
can't.
it
I can't
is.
beat that. Like,
It is very boring,
I
but-
will. I will accept a dumb book over a boring book.
Yeah, no, it is very boring, but like I think that now I have no idea what either of these books did, but like I feel like both of them had the possibility of doing something kind of interesting with the story in the following
Yeah.
issues.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'll just go with the flow on this one and vote
Fair
for
enough.
Resurrection Man.
Okay. I just do want to say there is really competency going on here. Like,
Yes.
real characters.
Yeah.
There's craft and.
But the
skill.
ugly is obviously Vigilante. It's derivative.
hands
It's stupid.
down.
Oh my
right?
god.
It's horrible.
Hey, it's
Yep.
unanimous.
Now maybe
It was kind of fun to read,
Yes.
but I cannot
Yeah.
give it any credit for having
For
any good
anything.
ideas, any originality.
No.
The characters are
The
bad.
art is bad.
he looks like a Power Ranger motorcycle driver. Like
And
he sucks.
Our hero is so conflicted that
He's duped by the villain.
he's duped by the villain into playing a sport in his own being like,
Yep.
okay.
Yeah.
Like,
Yep.
Oh.
He's like, I'm gonna go kill this guy.
Oh, before you
hey,
do.
would you like
yeah.
to play a game with me?
Oh,
I'll
bro,
hear
play a
you
game.
out. Like, you're the worst vigilante ever.
You know what this kind
He could
of-
just kill you while you're not paying attention.
Yeah.
No,
Like,
I'm so lonely. My
This
family's
story
dead.
reminded me of when we did
Oh yeah, Nomad.
Nomad.
oh.
For some reason, the plot of that
Okay.
reminded me of this plot.
Right, where it's
Because
like
it's convoluted.
yeah, we'll watch this guy go do this thing, and then he meets up with a villain. And the villain is like, maybe not. And he's like,
Yeah.
no, maybe
Yeah.
not. And then like it, no, yeah,
Yeah.
I can see that.
yeah.
Yep. Well, it's like he hints that he has a history with this
Yeah.
quilt guy.
Yeah,
so he
Yeah,
knows
because he's trying to
Quilt
put him
was the
away.
he knows about him.
Yeah,
He knows what he's done. He knows he's guilty.
but he still
He's
lets
like,
him.
Let me hear you out.
Right, and
Why?
like let me and okay.
Let me
sure-
let you confuse me with lies.
Let's say that maybe you're right, and she is blackmailing you.
Yeah.
You're still gonna die though. Like I should
Right.
still. I'll kill you on the way out.
Yeah,
And
just
then-
kill him. Do what you
Well,
were gonna do.
you know why
and
they
then
had-
ask
He
her.
has an enforcer named Brand who's murdering people. Like he's already demonstrably bad.
Yeah, why doesn't he kill Brand at
It's
least?
literally almost as though like Brand, the character, got out of control and the writer didn't know what to do. Because
Yeah.
it's like Brand almost kills him.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then he's like, don't do that, hang on.
Whoa, whoa, whoa.
Yeah.
You know what the issue with this book?
Yeah.
There's a big circle over his crotch.
Yeah, because of
the little sticker thing is
Oh yeah.
pushing.
Pushing
Wants you
in
to
on
look.
the cover.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm like,
Yeah, that's weird.
Cool.
I remember seeing that and being
Yep.
like, go. Strange.
thank
Not
you.
noticed that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
By the way, there is the full series of Resurrection Man is available at our comic book store at Zap Comics.
Oh, is it really?
I've considered buying it just
Why?
to see, but like now that I've finished Resurrection Man, I'm never gonna read any more Resurrection.
I kind of want to see the second issue. I would give it another issue.
All right.
I kind of dig. I do want to see the show. That
Right, that this is clearly a pitch for.
Well, see, now this is gonna. This
Like,
feels like.
does he get a new power every issue?
I think
or
so.
Does he keep the power for like a few
The funny thing is,
issues?
if he does get a power every issue, it means that Resurrection Man really sucks because
Oh
he
my
dies
God.
in every issue.
He had to have a hat because it's in the logo.
Yeah, there he goes.
Yeah, where'd he get it? Who cares?
He gets it.
Interesting.
Who cares?
That
It's part of
becomes
his
part of his
costume.
look. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's his costume.
That's like King Shark and his hook.
I was gonna say Ethan just kind of almost pitched another Good, Bad, and Ugly, where it's like books that we've read on here that we want to read the next one. Oh.
Yeah. Sequels.
Yeah.
Like issue 2.
Oh, we gotta go
issue
back.
2.
Yeah.
There's the
Look through
show.
those.
Issue 2.
Issue 2. All right. Well,
There's one.
there you have it, everybody. The good,
Wait.
the bad, and the ugly. Does Vigilante deserve to go in the wrong box? Is that what you're going to ask?
Yeah.
I don't think so.
I'm
No.
gonna
I
say
think
no.
it's not horrendous.
No, it's
My
just-
vote was yes.
Really?
What?
Ben
Interesting.
thinks
sucks.
everything should go in the wrong
No, he
box.
doesn't. When we all vote for the wrong box, he says no.
Yeah.
The thing that
he's
should go in the wrong
contrarian
box
then.
is his costume, because his costume is unforgivably terrible.
So lame.
Because it's like Bullseye, but with like ski goggles.
Yeah, and like triangle stripes,
Yeah.
and white and blue.
I just hate this guy.
He's so
bad
lame.
at what he does.
He's
Yeah.
just lame Punisher. He's Comics Code Authority Punisher.
Yep.
But even then, he's like a dumbass. Now, I agree Vigilante sucks.
But I don't think it's.
I did it. I
But this
enjoyed
issue-
reading it too much.
But this
for it to
issue
go the
isn't
wrong
that
way.
terrible. He's just
Brand is a character.
Brand is hilarious.
Hilariously
He's
terrible.
dead. He died. He's created to die.
He's
There.
created to be the worst, crappiest
You're not supposed to
villain.
like him. He's
Yeah.
intimate. He's deliberately designed so that you don't want him to appear in
Not
any
like
books.
it's not that he's designed so that you hate him. He's designed
is.
to be dumb.
Yeah.
Yes,
But he
you
also
hate him.
looks totally lame.
Brand, and I'm gonna brand you with my thing. Oh no,
Yeah.
it's Brand.
Oh no! Look at your worst haircut I've ever seen
It's
in
like
a human being.
It's like a joke about
Yeah.
like stupid villains,
right.
except a little too earnest.
Yeah, I hear what you're saying about the wrong box. Your objection's noted.
But overruled.
But overruled.
DC Obscure Characters Volume 2. Thank you so much for checking out this episode. Which was your favorite obscure character from this roster? And is there room for a Volume 3? I think yes.
No.
I almost have 3 ready to go.
It's gonna happen.
I had a few to choose from in this. Trust me, they're better. Maybe. We'll see you guys next time with another episode of The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly. And of course, don't forget to subscribe to this channel. Click the bell for notifications. We'll see you guys then. I'm Sal.
I'm Ethan.
I'm Ben.
I'm Tiffany.
So long.
Do all the books.
We're going to talk about the books, and they're right here.
So it's
a bunch of
obscure DC,
comics.
Sal, why don't you
Obscure
talk about
DC.
all of
the
them?
books. Here you go, Sal.
Here you go.
This is-
So there's Jim,
And we're gonna go.
Son of
Yeah,
Saturn,
well, actually, you can.
and the Resurrection Man, and of course Vigilante.
What?
He hasn't come back yet. He doesn't know we're doing this.